The daughter of Ahijah had two sons named Armoni and Mephibosheth. Saul's daughter Merab had five sons whose father was Adriel, the son of Barzillai from Meholah. David took Rizpah's two sons and Merab's five sons and turned them over to the Gibeonites, who hanged all seven of them on the mountain near the place where the Lord was worshipped. This happened right at the beginning of the barley harvest. Rizpah takes care of the bodies. Rizpah spread out some sackcloth on a nearby rock. She wouldn't let the birds land on the bodies during the day, and she kept the wild animals away at night. She stayed there from the beginning of the harvest until it started to rain. The burial of Saul and his descendants. Earlier, the Philistines had killed Saul and Jonathan on Mount Gilboa and had hung their bodies in the town square at Bethshan. The people of Jabesh in Gilead had secretly taken the bodies away, but David found out what Saul's wife Rizpah had done, and he went to the leaders of Jabesh to get the bones of Saul and his son Jonathan. David had their bones taken to the land of Benjamin and buried in a side room in Saul's family burial place. Then he gave orders for the bones of the men who had been hanged to be buried there. It was done, and God answered prayers to bless the land, the descendants of the Rephaim. This is also told in 1 Chronicles 20:48. One time David got very tired when he and his soldiers were fighting the Philistines. One of the Philistine warriors was Ishbi-benob, who was a descendant of the Rephaim, and he tried to kill David. Ishbi-benob was armed with a new sword, and his bronze spear had a long weight, along about 3.5 kilograms. But Abishai came to the rescue and killed the Philistine. David's soldiers told him, "We can't let you risk your life in battle anymore. You give light to our nation, and we want that flame to keep burning." There was another battle with the Philistines at Gob, where Sibbecai from Hushai killed a descendant of the Rephaim named Sab. There was still another battle with the Philistines at Gob. A soldier named Elhanan killed Goliath from Gath, whose spear shaft was like a weaver's beam. Elhanan's father was Zari from Bethlehem. There was another war, this time in Gath. One of the enemy soldiers was a descendant of the Rephaim. He was as big as a giant and had 6 fingers on each hand and 6 toes on each foot. But when he made fun of Israel, David's nephew Jonathan killed him. Jonathan was the son of David's brother Shimei. David and his soldiers killed these 4 men who were descendants of the Rephaim from Gath.